Hey, so today I'm actually going to tell you guys how I personally went from 190 pounds to 161 pounds. I'm also 6 feet tall, 6'1", whatever. Disclaimer, this is what I personally did. I'm not telling you to do this. Sometimes people get triggered by counting calories and tracking, so if that's you, obviously don't follow my advice. Find what works for you. This is just what I personally did. I did this in about a year. Obviously it could have been done a lot faster, but I took the slower approach because I wanted it to be more sustainable and was also going through things, but that's besides the point. So first thing I started to do was count calories, tracking calories. Everything I ate, every time I ate something, I Googled how much was in it and I tracked it down. If I don't track my calories, it is very easy for me to go overboard. So the next thing that I did, whenever I reached for any drink or any soda, I made sure that it was diet or zero sugar. And a lot of people think that diet sodas are bad and whatnot, but I personally don't know much about that, and I honestly don't care. If it has less calories, it's better, because a can of soda is often about 150 calories, and that's just empty. That's empty calories that you're literally ingesting. You're wasting that when you could have had like volume. You could have been satisfied. So that's why I personally opt for things like diet sodas. So hate on me if you want. The next thing I did was I looked at the sauces. So this is all about calories, like the food portion that I did. I personally would make sure that the ranches that I was using, the sauces I was using, the little small things that go into cooking that I was using, I made sure that they were diet or low sugar or sugar-free, because those were often lower in calorie. So a lot of like things like syrups, like I used to make pancakes a lot. So I would get the diet pancakes, or I would get the waffles. Sometimes I would just get the regular waffles if I knew it would fit. So I would get sugar-free syrup. And obviously, like everybody knows, the diet stuff's never gonna be as good as the real stuff, but it'll do, you know? You wanna be happy with your diet instead of being miserable. So I try to make sure that I'm still enjoying my food, but making sure that it's at least a better option instead of it being the regular stuff, because yeah. The next thing I did was I started walking more. If the distance was walkable, I would walk. I quit taking rides, I would just walk. And I was also running at this time. I began running. Basically just moved more, I ran more, I was tracking my calories, just that at that point. More recently I've been tracking the protein part. I kind of was being loose about that. I never had any issues gaining muscle. But yeah, that's basically what I did. I kind of like a little bit of toxic motivation, so I kind of did use that too. But like I said, I think you need to do what works for you, because I would make jokes and be like, oh, like, I gotta lose weight because I'm big. I wasn't that big, but I just thought it was funny. So yeah, that's what I did personally. Like I said, you don't need to follow what I did. In fact, you could, you don't have to. You gotta do what works for you. I'm just letting you guys know right now. I'm not telling you that this is the way to do it, but this is what I did. Okay, so yeah, thanks for watching. Bye.